Today I'm going to be coming to you guys with another story time, and today's story is going to be my labor and delivery story. So y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I had the most unconventional, first off, welcome back my beautiful and beloved people. Thank you guys for coming back. I want to welcome you guys back to my channel, and like I said before, we are back with another story time. So in today's story time, I'm going to be talking about my labor and delivery, like I said, and I'm just going to be going through it. I have some pictures and some videos for reference. I just got these because I didn't have any of them at first, so I haven't really seen any of them until today. So starting off, I guess, with the beginning, I had my beautiful daughter, Joyous May, on December 4th of 2018 at 3:11 in the morning. So, her original due date was November 29th. Well, actually, her original due date was November 20th. Then they moved it to the 29th, and she didn't come to the 5th of December. So, she came when she was nice and ready. So, after waiting on her, I kind of thought I was going to get induced because she was coming late. Also, I wanted to have a natural birth. So yeah, I was going into it thinking I'm gonna have this natural birth, and yeah, wow, we'll get into that. So I don't even know how to start. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the night before, because this is the funniest thing. The night before I went into labor, I had made myself this nice steak dinner, and because I was craving it, so I made myself this nice steak dinner, and I was eating, and I was like, gosh, I'll be glad when this baby come. I was doing some like squats and stuff like that, trying to get her to come down. And then my little cousin, she was telling the baby in my stomach, she was like, come out, Joy, come out. Come out. So that was crazy that she actually came the next morning after she was telling her to come out. And then so I go to sleep, and then I wake up at like 10 something in the morning, maybe like 9, and I did like feel some cramps in my sleep, but I like slept through them, so they must not have been too bad for me to be sleeping through them. And then I woke up in the morning. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all this before I go into the rest of the story. I kept waking up every day, like after my due date. I kept waking up mad because I didn't have my baby, because my mom told me that it usually happens at night. Like most people go in labor at night. So I kept waking up mad because I ain't going to labor at night. And I was waking up still pregnant. So anyway, I woke up that morning, and I noticed there was a like some type of bloody show. It looked like more like a little bit of blood mixed with some type of liquid in the bed. So I woke up. I told my mom, I was like, Mom, look at the bed, what's this? I got scared kind of. And she was like, you're probably in labor. So she told me, I called the nurse, the hotline or whatever, and they told me, like, are you having any contractions or anything like that? And then they said, well, if there was any type of bloody show, that you need to come in right away. So I took my time, because I wasn't having any like bad contractions. Like, they felt like regular cramps, actually better than my regular cramps. So I got in the shower. I had my bags packed already. I went and got my bags, and they were in my car. I put them in my mom's car, and we got ready to go to the hospital. Hospital's only like 10 minutes from my house. So, but I made her stop at McDonald's, because I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm not gonna go in here and not eat. This is gonna be my last meal or whatever. So I ate, got me a breakfast burrito from McDonald's, and then went into the hospital. I was in triage, and then they checked me, and they said I was 4 to 5 centimeters. Your girl could have got an epidural as soon as she walked in, but I wanted to be natural. Um, so through the night I was in labor. So technically, my labor started through through the night. So I had been in labor who knows how long by the time I got to the hospital, and then they transferred me right over into my delivery room. And then basically I had asked for the ball, to sit on the ball, because I helped, bring her down some more. So I was on the ball for a while. Then all my family started showing up. Girl, like I'm talking to somebody. When I tell you I didn't want nobody there but my mom and my baby mama, I'll get into that later. I didn't want nobody there. So I don't know. My mama just started calling people, and everybody started coming. So the more the merrier. So I welcomed them or whatever. I let everybody chill as long as they was quiet during my contractions. That's all I asked, is y'all be quiet during these contractions. So everybody, they was chilling, laughing, giggling, and my contraction would come, and I'd be like, okay, it's coming. Time to be quiet. And then I don't know, I was kind of snappy, but at the same time I thought I was being kind of nice, for the situation and all them people in my room. But basically, um they started to get more intense, the contractions. So they checked my service. They made me lay down in the bed, and they checked my service, and then I didn't get back up out of the bed. And I think if I would have got back up and got on the ball, they would have stayed like at an okay level. But I was having more like back contractions than I was having like regular like abdominal contractions. So that's what was the kicker. So I had my baby mama. So my daughter has it's kind of complicated at this time, but she has another mama, and she was my friend who wanted to step up and be a part of her life, and we welcome her with open arms. And I have no, like, that's a different story for a different time. So anyway, she was there, and she helped me through the labor. Oh my goodness. She was putting pressure on my back, and I have a picture, I'll insert it right here. And I was, man, that was helping so much. Y'all don't understand. And I tell her all the time, bruh, I would not have been able to make it through that labor had she not been there helping me, because she had took a break, and then my cousin and my friend was trying to step in and, put the pressure on my back. But they wasn't putting it on there like her. They wasn't putting that pressure on there. So I basically had to I needed her, basically. So she was putting pressure on my back, and every time the contraction came, that pressure that she was putting on my back helped relieve the pressure from the contraction. So she did that. So it came to so I checked in, got in my room maybe like 10:30, 12, and then was chilling until like 4, 5, 6, then 6, 7. Woo! Them contractions start kicking my butt, y'all. They start coming, felt like 2 times in a minute. They was coming really fast and really hard. So then maybe like 8:30, I was like, y'all, I want the epidural. I was at a 7. She had came back, and I was at a 7 centimeters. She came back and checked an hour later. I was still at 7. And I was like, bro, I don't know if I'm going to make it, all the way to 10. And with how these feel basically right now. So I asked them for the epidural, and they was like, oh, you got to have another bag of the fluid in my IV. I'm like, I already had a bag. I told her, I already had a bag. So, because I was like, how long that take? And then she's like, 45 minutes. 45 minutes? You know how many more contractions that is? That's 90 more contractions. Because they was coming like twice a minute, like I said. So she was like, 45 minutes. But turns out she must have put a rush on it, because that anesthesiologist came in the room like 10, 15 minutes later, and they were doing let me get to the bulk. Let me get to the meat of this story. They did my epidural. It was all right. It didn't hurt. It was weird. And then basically after that was around 9 o'clock. I was chilling. It just was more pressure, like on my butt than anything. So that was better than what the contractions I was having. So everybody, including my baby mama Kiana, shout out to you, Kiana, you a G. She got to finally take a break because, bro, I know her arms was like noodles. So she finally got to take a break and chill, and everybody kind of got to chill. I got to get some rest. That's another reason why I wanted to just go ahead and do the epidural, because I was so weak. I wanted to get some rest before I start having to push. So I got some rest. They kept checking me or whatever, and it got to like 1:30 in the morning, and they said I was finally kind of dilated. I'll insert the audio of that video because it was a little. She took the video from my side where the baby was coming out, so I'm gonna insert just the audio. And oh no, why are you pushing me?
She's trying to feel as you're having a contraction.
So this is not a contraction.
No.
Woo!
I feel like one might be starting to build though.
That build is at peak.
Yep, you got this, girl.
Push.
You got this. Take deep breath in. Push, push, push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Another big deep breath in. And push, 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 push. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another big deep breath in. And push, 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 push. Hold it, 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 hold it. Okay, good job. Catch your breath. Alright, we are low enough, okay? So we're gonna get the bed broken down and get everything in here so we can put a vacuum on her head, okay? Because I would love for you to keep pushing and pushing and have her.
So basically, they were trying to tell me that I wasn't ready to push, but I felt like she was ready to come out. So they checked them one last time, and they said I was okay to push. So they went and got everybody. So I started pushing, and that was the hardest part because she wasn't coming down low enough in the vaginal canal. She wasn't coming down in the birth canal low enough. So they had asked me if it was okay. First of all, we were pushing, and both our heart rates were dropping. So they asked if it was okay if they used the vacuum suction to suction her down. I said okay, long as it wouldn't like harm her. And I guess that brought her down some more. And then they put the little whatever it was, it's like something to make sure they keep check our heart rate. They put it on top of her head, like in the scalp. If you ever like put a needle through your finger skin just slightly, that's how it is. So they put that on her head to track her heart rate, and both our heart rates were dropping. So they was like, take a break or whatever, and I felt like I was gonna pass out, y'all. I asked for some oxygen. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I asked for some oxygen, and they was like thinking I was playing. I'm like, bro, I need some oxygen. It's not that I cannot breathe. I just feel like I need assistance. You know, I need some more oxygen. So they finally gave me the oxygen, and I was taking it, you know, I was breathing in, and they had told me to stop pushing or whatever. And then I felt myself kind of like, I guess I passed out. I really think I passed out. Everybody couldn't really tell me because there was a lot going on. But when I came back to, there were like 6 more nurses in the room. So at first it was just my nurse and my doctor. They were at the bottom of the bed. When I came back to, there was a nurse here, and the nurse at the bottom, and then the whole another team of people. So I had to have been passed out because they had to took time to come in the room. So when I came back to, they were like telling me, no, don't push, don't push, don't push. I was like, push, and they was like, no, and I was like, okay. And then finally the doctor was kind of like she sensed the urgency of getting the baby out, so she kind of just come up over on top of me and like pressed down on my stomach. They already were pressing down on my stomach to try to push her down. So she just did that one final push, and then she came out. And then she wasn't crying or anything. And come to find out, well, they took her over to the little bed station where they have set up, and they were trying to get her airways cleared. She had came out, she wasn't breathing, and she had her cord wrapped around her neck. And so I was just calling out, like, is she okay? Is she okay? And they weren't kind of answering me at first, and they kind of just kept saying, like, don't you hear? Like, can you hear? And I was just hearing little murmurs, like, like I wasn't hearing a full cry. But then they finally, I guess, got her airways cleared and got her back breathing correctly. And that was maybe like 10, 15 minutes after she was out. So yeah, my beautiful baby. Then they finally gave her to me, and they put her on my chest. But then they said that they had to take her to the NICU because of her breathing issues. So they took her to the NICU, and um, Kiana went down with him, and my mom went down with her, and they were down there with her. And I was kind of just left in the room by myself for like an hour, and it was kind of sad because you have a baby and then you expect to, like, finally get to meet your child and be with them for those first bonding times. Skin to skin is very important at that time. And so that, well, let's go back. While they were trying to resuscitate her, they had started to sew me up because they had to give me an episiotomy. I had a 3rd-degree tear, and that took a good 30 minutes for them just to sew me up. And then they took her down to the NICU after, So when they were done sewing me up, kind of everybody left the room. The nurses, everybody left the room. And I was in there by myself, and it was so sad, y'all. I can't even explain to y'all how sad it was. I didn't have my baby. Nobody was there. I had just had a baby, went through all this traumatic stuff to have her, and I couldn't hold her. So turns out she was okay, and my mom and Kiana came back from the NICU, and they showed me pictures of her that they took, and they had took my phone down there to take pictures too. So I really didn't have no way to call nobody. Girl, the nurses left me without a call light, so I was yelling like, help, help. And they came in there because they thought something was wrong, and I was like, I don't have a call light, like I don't have no way to call nobody if I was hurt. So they gave me my call light, and I was just laying there, whatever. I was happy I had my baby, and I was happy she was okay, but I was sad that she wasn't there with me. So they transferred me into my regular room. At this time, when they transferred me, it was like 5 in the morning, and Kiana had to go, and my mom had to go to school. Everybody basically had to go, so I was just by myself, and she was down in NICU, and I was up in my room. So I finally got to see her the next morning. I got up, I got ready. I couldn't sleep, I was so anxious. I wanted to see my baby. So I got up, I got ready, and I called the transport, and the transport came and transported me down to the NICU. And I finally got to see her at 10 the next morning. And I tried to spend as much time with her as possible, but since they were coming around with my meds, I had to be back in my room or whatever. And anyway, that it was a course of me doing that same thing through the first 3 days of me being in the hospital, and making sure I get my meds so I can go down there and spend time with her, and then pump milk so I can bring it to her down in the NICU. Um, it was basically kind of sad. I packed a whole bag of outfits. She didn't really get to wear them because she was in the NICU and they had their own clothes. But overall, looking past all of that, I thank God that she made it because it was such a traumatic labor. I thank God that she made it here, and that um she was they were able to get her back breathing. I just thank God for all the little things, and she's here now. She's one, and she's rambunctious, and she's full of life, and her name fits her, Joyous. And I just thank God for all of the blessings within that, So that was my labor and delivery story, guys. If you like these story times or you like videos like this, I do have so much more. And give this video a like, because here's the thing. When you guys like the video, that helps YouTube push the video for more people to see. And I really want to build my subscribers. I have a goal this year. that's another thing. I'm coming with a vision board. I know it's late, but it ain't never too late because we got the whole year of 2020 that we got goals to set and to achieve. So I'm gonna come with my vision board video. I'm probably gonna be doing that this week. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, like it, and if you're coming back, y'all subscribe. This your first time, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. I love you, my beautiful and beloved people. Bye.